Young man, this is your opportunity to explain yourself, so speak up. Judge Hazel Grubb looked over the top of her bifocals. Her receding hairline began mid-scalp and formed thin lines of gray hair across the top of her head. The strands of hair were pulled back from her face into a tight bun at the nape of her neck. Her black robe reinforced the severity of her pinched nose and the deep wrinkles under her eyes. "Let me hear your story." The teenage boy stood at the wooden podium which faced the judge's bench. His light blue button-down shirt was tucked into his tan pants, which were secured by a dark brown leather belt. His chin was lowered to his chest. His full brown hair fell across his forehead and brushed against the top of his eyebrows. The boy's arms hung at his sides, and his eyes were downcast. The judge bent her head over a thick file in front of her and flipped through the pages. So you haven't been to school for a few months." She looked at him. "Not good, young man. Not good at all." Her voice was shrill. She squinted and continued to peruse the file. "I don't hear you." She flipped to the face sheet on the front of the file. "Andrew Tibbet?" The boy stood motionless. The judge stared at him. "Young man, I'm speaking to you. When spoken to in my courtroom, you are expected to respond." Andrew Tibbet didn't look up. He did not speak. The judge sat erect and peered at the boy. Her eyes scanned the courtroom. In an intense but controlled voice, she asked, "Is anyone here with this child?" A couple stood. The bailiff allowed them to approach the podium. The man walked to the left and the woman to the right, sandwiching the boy between them. The man was tall, his shoulders back and his chin up. His wavy hair had a touch of gray at the temples. His suit was dark. His crisp white shirt had a European spread collar. His maroon tie was in an ascot knot. The woman was dark-haired, with a soft hint of makeup. She wore a navy blue suit. A single gold chain graced the front of her rose-colored blouse. "What is your name and relationship to this boy?" the judge asked, without fanfare. "Your Honor, I want to explain—" "Sir, please answer my question," the judge said, not trying to hide her annoyance. "I was trying to inform—" "Sir, are you going to tell me your name and relationship to this boy or not?" "Yes, of course, Your Honor." "Please, do so now," she said. "I'm Kurt Tibbet. I'm Andrew's father." "Thank you, Mr. Tibbet," the judge said and turned to face the woman. "And you are?" "I'm Laura Tibbet, Andrew's mother." "Thank you, Miss Tibbet," the judge said without humor. The judge looked from the mother to the father. "Do either of you know why this boy is not in school?" The man took a step forward. Bailiffs from both sides of the courtroom moved toward him. The man stepped back. "I'm sorry, Your Honor." "Mr. Tibbet, just answer my question. Why have you allowed your son to stay home from school?" The man's face reddened. He clenched his fists. "Your Honor, we have not allowed Andrew to stay home from school. We've told him he must go to school, but he refuses." "When he refuses, what do you and his mother do?" "We've tried everything. We've talked with him. We've taken away his privileges. We've met with school personnel. Nothing has worked." The man raised his voice. "He seems determined to ruin his education and his career opportunities. We're at a loss." The judge interrupted him and turned to the boy's mother. "Do you agree? You and his father have tried everything you can, but your son still refuses to attend school?" Laura Tibbet's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, Your Honor." The judge turned to Andrew. "How old are you, young man?" The boy did not answer. Kurt Tibbet clenched his teeth and leaned toward his son. "Answer the judge," he hissed. The boy stood emotionless. He continued to stare at the slanted top of the podium and with great effort blinked his eyes, as if struggling to stay awake.